In a world filled with subtle masks and hidden intentions, discerning who among us is truly dangerous can feel like navigating a labyrinth. Each interaction, each smile, could conceal motives that are anything but benign. This complexity is not merely a philosophical musing. It's a reality we must confront daily. Consider this. Studies indicate that approximately 1 in 25 individuals exhibit psychopathic tendencies. This statistic is not just a number. It's a stark reminder that one of these individuals could be sitting right next to you, perhaps even sharing your workspace or social circle. The implications of this knowledge can be unsettling, yet it serves as a crucial prompt for vigilance in our relationships. As we delve into the signs that may reveal the presence of malevolent individuals in our lives, I invite you to reflect on your own experiences. Have you ever felt an inexplicable discomfort around someone, or noticed behaviors that seemed off, yet couldn't quite put your finger on? Stay with me, because what you'll learn today might just arm you with the insights needed to protect yourself from harm, or help you understand those who have caused you pain in the past. If you value personal empowerment and self-mastery, I encourage you to like, share, and subscribe. Together, we can spread Stoic wisdom and equip ourselves and others to navigate life's hidden dangers more effectively. Let's grow stronger together. Stoicism, a philosophy rooted in rationality and resilience, offers profound insights into recognizing and navigating the complexities of human behavior. At its core, Stoicism teaches us to observe our surroundings and the people within them with a discerning eye. It encourages us to cultivate an inner fortress of wisdom that can withstand the storms of manipulation and deceit. By understanding the nature of others, we can protect ourselves from toxic influences and foster healthier relationships. Reflecting on my own experiences, I recall a time when I placed my trust in someone who appeared genuine. Their charm was disarming, and their words seemed sincere. However, as time went on, their actions told a different story, one marked by betrayal and self-interest. I often think back to that period, wishing I had possessed the knowledge I'm about to share with you today. Recognizing the signs of malevolent intent could have spared me significant heartache. As we explore this topic together, I want to build suspense around what's to come. By the end of this video, you'll be equipped with an understanding of the 10 signs of evil intent that often lie hidden in plain sight. Moreover, you'll grasp why the ancient Stoics believed that such individuals must be approached with both caution and wisdom. This knowledge is not just about identifying potential threats, it's about empowering yourself to navigate your relationships with clarity and confidence. Sign 1. Excessive flattery and manipulation. Excessive flattery is a common tactic employed by manipulative individuals to lower your defenses and gain your trust. This form of manipulation exploits our innate desire for approval and validation, making us feel good about ourselves while simultaneously clouding our judgment. When someone showers you with compliments, it can be easy to overlook their ulterior motives, as the sweet words create a comforting cocoon that distracts from potential red flags. The Stoic philosopher Epictetus warned us about the perils of excessive praise. If you wish to improve, be content to be thought foolish and stupid. This wisdom underscores the importance of maintaining a grounded perspective. Those who excessively flatter you may not have your best interests at heart. Instead, they could be using praise as a means to manipulate your emotions and actions. The ancient Stoics understood that true self-worth is not derived from the opinions of others, but from our own character and virtue. Reflect on your experiences. Have you ever encountered someone who made you feel too good to be true? This feeling often accompanies interactions where flattery is rampant. It's essential to ask yourself critical questions when faced with excessive compliments. Is the person complimenting you in ways that seem fabricated or exaggerated? Are their praises connected to demands or requests being made of you? Do you feel pressured to reciprocate the flattery? How do they react when their compliments are not returned? These questions can help unveil the insincerity behind excessive flattery. Often, manipulators use this tactic to create a sense of obligation or loyalty, making it difficult for their targets to resist compliance with their requests. For instance, in personal relationships, a partner who constantly praises you may be attempting to control or influence your decisions subtly. In professional settings, a boss may use flattery to boost morale artificially while steering you toward actions that benefit them more than you. As we navigate these interactions, it's crucial to remain vigilant and aware of how flattery can serve as a precursor to manipulation. The Stoic practice of self-reflection and maintaining a clear understanding of one's values can act as a shield against such tactics. By grounding ourselves in reality and questioning the motives behind overly flattering comments, we can safeguard our autonomy and make decisions that align with our true interests. Sign 2. Lack of empathy. A profound indicator of malevolent intent is a noticeable lack of empathy. This characteristic can manifest in various ways, often subtly, making it easy to overlook at first. Individuals who lack empathy may struggle to recognize or respond to the emotions of others, leading to interactions that feel hollow or dismissive. They might interrupt when you share personal stories, fail to acknowledge your feelings during difficult times, or respond with indifference when you express vulnerability. Consider a situation where you've opened up about a challenge you're facing, perhaps a job loss, a family issue, or a personal struggle. You share your thoughts and feelings, seeking connection and understanding. Yet, the person you confide in responds with disinterest or changes the subject entirely. This lack of concern can leave you feeling isolated and invalidated, as if your experiences are inconsequential. I recall a moment in my own life when I confided in a friend about my struggles with anxiety. I was feeling particularly vulnerable, hoping for support and understanding. Instead, they brushed off my concerns with a flippant remark and quickly shifted the conversation to their own achievements. In that moment, I felt invisible, my feelings dismissed as unworthy of attention. This experience was not just disappointing, it was revealing. It highlighted how some individuals may be more focused on themselves than on fostering genuine connections. The absence of empathy can escalate over time, particularly if the individual begins to see your vulnerability as a weakness to exploit rather than an opportunity for connection. Initially, their indifference may seem harmless. However, as you continue to share your thoughts and feelings, their lack of responsiveness can lead to deeper emotional wounds. They might begin to take advantage of your openness by using your vulnerabilities against you in future interactions. Imagine this scenario. You confide in someone about a personal setback, and instead of offering support, they use that information to manipulate or belittle you later on. This behavior is not just inconsiderate, it is indicative of a deeper malice that can erode trust and self-esteem over time. The Stoics teach us that understanding human nature is essential for navigating relationships effectively. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of recognizing that we are all part of a larger community and that our actions should reflect our interconnectedness. When someone exhibits a lack of empathy, it serves as a warning sign, a signal that they may not have your best interests at heart. As we reflect on these experiences, Let's consider how we can cultivate empathy within ourselves while remaining vigilant against those who may lack it. By fostering our own capacity for understanding and compassion, we not only protect ourselves, but also contribute positively to our relationships and communities. Sign 3. Mastery of lies and half-truths. One of the most telling signs of an evil person is their mastery of lies and half-truths. These individuals have an uncanny ability to distort reality to suit their own needs, weaving intricate webs of deception that can leave others feeling confused and manipulated. They often employ lies not just for personal gain, but also to control narratives, influence perceptions, and maintain power over those around them. Consider how a manipulative colleague might twist facts during a meeting, presenting information in a way that casts them in a favorable light while undermining others. This behavior can create an environment where trust is eroded and individuals begin to doubt their own experiences and judgments. The consequences can be profound, leading to a toxic atmosphere where collaboration is stifled and genuine communication is replaced by suspicion. Marcus Aurelius reminds us of the importance of truth in our lives. If it is not right, do not do it. If it is not true, do not say it. This Stoic principle emphasizes the need for integrity in our words and actions. When we encounter someone who frequently distorts the truth, it serves as a stark reminder that they are operating outside the bounds of ethical behavior. Their willingness to compromise truth for personal advantage reflects a fundamental disconnection from virtue. As we navigate relationships with such individuals, it's crucial to develop strategies for dealing with their deceit without directly confronting them. This situation can be particularly challenging when you know someone is lying but lack the opportunity or safety to call them out directly. Here are some reflective prompts to consider. Assess the evidence. When faced with conflicting narratives, take time to gather facts before reacting. Documenting instances where you suspect dishonesty can help clarify your thoughts. Maintain composure. Approach conversations with a calm demeanor. Responding emotionally can give manipulators leverage over you. Instead, articulate your observations factually. Ask open-ended questions. Instead of making accusations, pose questions that encourage the person to clarify their statements. This tactic can sometimes reveal inconsistencies in their story without direct confrontation. Set boundaries. If lying becomes a pattern, establish clear boundaries regarding what behaviors you will tolerate. Communicate these boundaries assertively yet respectfully. Seek support. Engage with trusted friends or colleagues about your experiences. They may provide additional perspectives or validation that can help you navigate the situation more effectively. By employing these strategies, you can protect yourself from the damaging effects of deceit while maintaining your integrity. The Stoics teach us that while we cannot control the actions of others, we can control our responses. By grounding ourselves in truth and virtue, we can navigate even the most challenging interactions with clarity and strength. Sign 4. They play the victim. The perpetual victim mindset is not merely an expression of vulnerability. It is a calculated strategy employed by some individuals to maintain control over their environment and the people within it. This mindset allows them to deflect responsibility for their actions while simultaneously eliciting sympathy and support from others. By positioning themselves as victims, they create an emotional landscape where others feel compelled to cater to their needs, often at the expense of their own well-being. Imagine a scenario that many of us can relate to. You work alongside a colleague who frequently portrays themselves as the victim in various situations. Whenever there's a project setback or a conflict arises, they recount how they are unfairly treated by management or how their contributions go unrecognized. Their stories are often compelling, drawing in co-workers who feel obligated to support and defend them. However, this narrative serves a dual purpose. It distracts from their own shortcomings and manipulates the emotions of those around them. In family dynamics, this behavior can be even more pronounced. Consider a family member who consistently plays the victim during family gatherings. They may recount tales of how life has been unfair to them, painting themselves as the target of misfortune. This tactic can evoke feelings of guilt and obligation in other family members, compelling them to offer support and sympathy. Over time, this dynamic can lead to resentment, as those who are continually drawn into this narrative may feel emotionally drained and manipulated. The darker consequences of this behavior are profound. When someone consistently adopts the victim role, they not only undermine genuine connections, but also create an environment rife with tension and mistrust. Those around them may begin to feel like emotional caretakers rather than equals in the relationship. This imbalance can lead to burnout, frustration, and ultimately a breakdown in communication. Moreover, the perpetual victim can perpetuate a cycle of manipulation that becomes increasingly difficult to break. As they continue to garner sympathy and support through their narratives, they may become more entrenched in their role, further distancing themselves from accountability for their actions. This behavior can escalate into more severe forms of manipulation, where they may resort to guilt-tripping or emotional blackmail to maintain control over those who care about them. As we navigate our relationships, it's essential to recognize this pattern for what it is, a manipulation tactic that thrives on emotional dependency. The Stoics remind us that true strength lies in taking responsibility for our lives and actions rather than deflecting blame onto others. By fostering awareness of these dynamics, we can protect ourselves from becoming unwitting participants in someone else's victim narrative. Now that we've explored these 4 signs of malevolent behavior, excessive flattery and manipulation, lack of empathy, mastery of lies and half-truths, and playing the victim, let's briefly recap what we've learned. Excessive flattery and manipulation. Recognizing how insincere praise can serve as a tool for control. Lack of empathy. Understanding how indifference to others' feelings reveals deeper issues. Mastery of lies and half-truths. Identifying how deceit distorts reality for personal gain. Playing the victim. Analyzing how the perpetual victim mindset can manipulate emotions and foster dependency. If any part of this video resonates with you, if you see reflections of these patterns in your own life, please take a moment to hit the like button. Your engagement helps others discover this critical information that could empower them to navigate similar challenges. Share this with someone who might be silently dealing with these toxic patterns. Together, we can empower each other to cultivate healthier relationships and protect ourselves from those who seek to undermine our well-being. Sign 5. They exploit trust. Malicious individuals often take advantage of trust over time, weaving a deceptive tapestry that can ensnare even the most discerning among us. This exploitation typically begins subtly as they cultivate a facade of reliability and sincerity. By establishing themselves as trustworthy figures, they create a safe space where others feel comfortable sharing personal information, vulnerabilities, and resources. However, this trust is not built on genuine intentions. Rather, it is a calculated strategy designed to manipulate and control. A historical example that illustrates this exploitation is the case of Bernard Madoff, who orchestrated one of the largest Ponzi schemes in history. Madoff gained the trust of countless investors by presenting himself as a reputable figure within the financial community. He leveraged his connections and reputation to create an illusion of stability and success, convincing people to invest their life savings with him. Despite numerous red flags, many individuals chose to ignore their instincts, believing that Madoff's charm and credibility were sufficient indicators of his integrity. Ultimately, this misplaced trust led to devastating financial losses for thousands. The Stoics remind us of the importance of vigilance in our relationships. As Marcus Aurelius noted, "The best revenge is to be unlike him who performed the injury." This wisdom encourages us to maintain our own integrity while being cautious about whom we place our trust in. The exploitation of trust can have far-reaching consequences, leading not only to financial ruin but also to emotional distress and a profound sense of betrayal. As we navigate our interactions with others, it's vital to cultivate a discerning eye. Ask yourself, what evidence supports their claims? Look for consistency in their words and actions over time. Do they often seek personal favors or information? Be wary if someone consistently asks for your trust without reciprocating. How do they react when confronted with skepticism? Manipulative individuals may respond defensively or attempt to gaslight you into doubting your perceptions. Recognizing these patterns can help shield you from those who seek to exploit your trust for their gain. By fostering awareness and practicing discernment, you can safeguard your emotional and financial well-being. Sign 6. Excessive control or domination. Excessive control or domination is another hallmark of manipulative individuals. In relationships or work environments, this dynamic can manifest in various ways, whether through micromanagement, emotional manipulation, or outright coercion. Such behavior not only stifles autonomy, but also creates an environment where individuals feel trapped and powerless. Consider a workplace scenario where a manager exerts excessive control over their team. They may micromanage every detail of a project, leaving little room for creativity or independent thought. This approach not only undermines employee morale, but also fosters resentment and disengagement. Employees may feel like mere extensions of the manager's will rather than valued contributors to the team's success. The Stoic philosopher Seneca wisely stated, "You are a slave to the one you need." This quote underscores the importance of recognizing how dependence on others can lead to compromised freedom. When we allow someone else's need for control to dictate our reality, we surrender our autonomy and sense of self. It is crucial to understand that true freedom comes from within. It is about mastering our thoughts and actions rather than being defined by external influences. In relationships, excessive control can manifest as emotional manipulation, where one partner consistently undermines the other's confidence or autonomy. This dynamic can create an unhealthy cycle where the controlled individual feels increasingly dependent on their partner for validation and decision-making. To combat these dynamics, consider these Stoic principles. Cultivate self-awareness. Recognize when you are feeling controlled or dominated by another person. Acknowledge your feelings and assess whether they stem from external pressures or internal fears. Set boundaries. Establish clear boundaries regarding what behaviors you will tolerate. Communicate these boundaries assertively yet respectfully. Practice detachment. Focus on what is within your control, your thoughts, actions, and responses. By detaching from external validation or approval, you reclaim your autonomy. By applying these principles, you can navigate relationships more effectively while maintaining your sense of self and freedom. Remember that true strength lies in self-mastery. When we learn to govern our own thoughts and actions, we become less susceptible to manipulation by others. Sign 7. They isolate you. Isolation is a powerful tool used by manipulative individuals to exert control over their victims. By systematically distancing you from friends, family, and support networks, they create an environment where you become increasingly reliant on them for emotional and social validation. This tactic not only diminishes your sense of self, but also amplifies the manipulator's influence over your thoughts and actions. Consider how this process often unfolds. It may start subtly, with the manipulator expressing disapproval of your friendships or suggesting that certain people are not good for you. They might frame their concerns as protective, claiming that they only want what's best for you. Over time, these comments can lead you to question the motives of your loved ones, fostering doubt and insecurity. As isolation deepens, the manipulator may become your primary source of support and companionship. This dynamic can feel comforting at first. However, it quickly morphs into a trap. Without external perspectives or support, you may find it increasingly difficult to recognize the manipulation at play. The absence of outside influences can lead to a distorted view of reality, where the manipulator's narrative becomes your only frame of reference. Now, let's build suspense around this situation. What happens when you have no one else to turn to? The answer is unsettling. In moments of crisis or emotional turmoil, you may find yourself feeling utterly alone and vulnerable. Without a support network to provide perspective or challenge unhealthy behaviors, your sense of self-worth can erode. This isolation can lead to feelings of despair and hopelessness, making it even easier for the manipulator to maintain control. The Stoics emphasize the importance of community and connection. Marcus Aurelius believed that we are all part of a larger whole and that our relationships contribute significantly to our well-being. When someone seeks to isolate you, they are not just undermining your autonomy, they are severing your ties to this essential human connection. To combat isolation tactics, stay connected. Make a conscious effort to maintain relationships with trusted friends and family members. Reach out regularly, even if it feels challenging. Recognize manipulative patterns. Be aware of any attempts by others to undermine your connections or sow discord among your relationships. Seek support. If you feel isolated or controlled, consider speaking with a therapist or counselor who can provide an objective perspective and help you navigate these dynamics. By fostering connections and remaining vigilant against isolation tactics, you can protect yourself from manipulation and maintain a healthy sense of self. Sign 8. Persistent negativity and cynicism. Persistent negativity and cynicism are insidious forces that can drain your energy and warp your perspective on life. Individuals who consistently express pessimism can create an atmosphere that feels heavy and oppressive. Their negative outlook not only affects their own well-being, but also seeps into the lives of those around them, leaving others feeling depleted and disheartened. Imagine being in the presence of someone who constantly points out flaws in every situation, whether it's critiquing a new project at work or dismissing plans with friends as pointless. Over time, this relentless negativity can shift your own mindset from one of hope and possibility to one marked by doubt and despair. You may find yourself second-guessing your ideas or feeling reluctant to share your enthusiasm for fear of being shot down. Have you noticed how being around certain people can leave you feeling worse, even if nothing dramatic happens? This subtle drain on your energy is often rooted in their persistent negativity. It can manifest as a sense of heaviness that lingers long after the interaction has ended. You might leave conversations feeling emotionally exhausted or questioning your own beliefs and aspirations. The Stoics teach us that our perceptions shape our reality. Epictetus famously stated that it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. When surrounded by negativity, it's crucial to cultivate resilience by consciously choosing how we respond. Here are some strategies for managing persistent negativity. Limit exposure. If possible, reduce the time spent with individuals who consistently drain your energy. Protecting your mental space is essential for maintaining positivity. Practice gratitude. Focus on what is positive in your life. Regularly reflecting on things you're grateful for can help counteract negative influences. Engage in positive conversations. Seek out discussions that uplift rather than diminish. Surround yourself with individuals who inspire growth and optimism. By actively managing exposure to negativity and fostering positive connections, you can reclaim your energy and maintain a healthier perspective on life. Sign 9. They exploit your weaknesses. One of the most insidious tactics employed by manipulative individuals is the exploitation of your weaknesses. These individuals are adept at identifying vulnerabilities, whether they are emotional, psychological, or situational, and using them to gain power and control over you. This manipulation can take many forms, from subtle undermining to overt coercion, and it often leaves victims feeling confused and powerless. Manipulators may leverage insecurities related to self-esteem, fear of rejection, or even past traumas. For example, they might exploit your desire for approval by making you feel inadequate unless you conform to their demands. This tactic can create a dependency where you feel compelled to seek their validation, often sacrificing your own needs and desires in the process. The Stoics teach us that knowing your weaknesses is your greatest strength. This principle emphasizes the importance of self-awareness in navigating relationships. By understanding your vulnerabilities, you can better protect yourself from those who would seek to exploit them. As Epictetus wisely noted, it is impossible for a man to learn what he thinks he already knows. This highlights the necessity of humility in recognizing our limitations and the potential for others to manipulate them. To combat this manipulation, reflect on your insecurities. Take time to identify what makes you feel vulnerable. Understanding these aspects of yourself can empower you to set boundaries and resist exploitation. Practice assertiveness. Develop the ability to express your needs and desires clearly. When you assert yourself, you reduce the likelihood of being manipulated through your weaknesses. Seek support. Surround yourself with individuals who uplift and empower you. A strong support network can provide perspective and help reinforce your sense of self-worth. By cultivating self-awareness and resilience, you can mitigate the impact of those who seek to exploit your vulnerabilities. Sign 10. Absence of accountability. A hallmark of harmful individuals is their refusal to take responsibility for their actions. This absence of accountability creates a toxic environment where blame is deflected onto others, leaving victims feeling confused and unjustly accused. When someone consistently refuses to acknowledge their role in conflicts or mistakes, it not only undermines trust, but also fosters a sense of powerlessness in those around them. Consider a relatable example. Have you ever dealt with someone who blames everyone but themselves? Perhaps it was a co-worker who consistently missed deadlines, yet insisted that external factors, like team dynamics or management decisions, were to blame for their failures. This behavior not only reflects a lack of personal responsibility, but also places undue stress on others who may feel compelled to compensate for their shortcomings. The Stoics remind us that accountability is integral to personal growth and integrity. Marcus Aurelius emphasized the importance of examining one's own actions and motivations, stating that you have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength. When we refuse to take responsibility for our actions, we relinquish control over our lives and hinder our ability to learn from our experiences. To navigate relationships with individuals who lack accountability, establish clear expectations. Communicate your expectations regarding responsibility within relationships or work environments. Encourage open dialogue. Foster an atmosphere where discussing mistakes and learning from them is encouraged rather than punished. Set boundaries. If someone consistently deflects blame, it may be necessary to establish boundaries regarding how much time and energy you invest in that relationship. By holding ourselves accountable and encouraging accountability in others, we foster healthier interactions built on trust and mutual respect. This concludes the exploration of the 10 evident signs that there may be an evil person next to you through the lens of Stoic philosophy. Stoic tools to protect yourself. Practice rational detachment. Control your responses. Build emotional resilience. How many of these signs have you seen in people around you? What will you do now that you know? Remember, the Stoics believed we have power over ourselves, even when surrounded by chaos. This knowledge can truly make a difference, not just for you, but for those you care about. Share this video with someone who might need it. And if you haven't already, subscribe to join our community of seekers building strength through wisdom.